everyone, and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Danielle, the American expat in Germany. I also thought I would mention in the intro that I'm actually a mom of three, so we're going to change it. I am the American expat mom of three. I feel like we should incorporate that because this channel used to be primarily a mom channel, and I feel like it's getting kind of lost and I feel kind of bad. So today's video is going to be kind of a sit-down chat, heart to heart, and we will be bringing back some more mumsy topics here and again too. You might actually hear my children screaming around in the background. Alright, so today's video, I have something sort of mildly planned for today. Today I just really wanted to, like I said, have a heart to heart. I wanted to talk about, and I wanted us all to talk about how the pandemic, the crisis has impacted our lives, because I'm sure it has impacted all of our lives on various different levels, and I thought today I would go ahead and share mine. I thought we would go ahead and bear our testimonies and then sort of wrap up with what we're grateful for to kind of end on a more positive note, because at the end of the day, no matter how bleak things might seem, there's always something to be grateful for. I'll just go ahead and get into all of the various ways that the crisis has impacted my life and my family, and I would be so happy if you guys would share yours in the comments. So the first major way that I feel like this crisis has impacted like us as a family, and also Johannes, but me too, is, well, we'll go ahead and kind of start with Johannes, which is kind of weird, but it does impact all of us at the end of the day. So Johannes actually for the past 2 years has been looking for a new job. He's been at the same job for about 10 years. Or exactly 10 years actually. He celebrated his 10-year anniversary just like 2 weeks ago. And he's already talked to his boss about all of this stuff. His boss is like a really nice family man, so I'm not like gonna get him in trouble by talking about this, but he's been feeling creatively a little bit understimulated at this job. He's not finding that he can kind of change places in the same profession as much as he would want to. He's also not getting as much of a pay raise as he would want to for how long he's been there. So he's looking for something to both stimulate him more creatively, but also something with a higher income. And as a lot of you guys know, we were also planning on trying living in England, even if it was just for a year, to see what we thought. So if he landed a job in England, then we were going to move to England. So with the crisis, like pretty much since it started, like in March, like he was just not getting any more opportunities. He has all of these like job searching apps that usually tell you if something comes up in the field you're looking for, and there hasn't been anything. Like there's been dead silence from England and nothing from Germany as well in what he's looking for. And he hasn't been aggressively looking since the crisis started, just because we're quite grateful to just have a job. It just seems a little bit risky to change jobs because he has a lot of stability at this job that he's currently at. As far as I go with doulaing, March through June was pretty dead. I didn't have anybody write me for a doula. June, I had like 3 or 4 people write me for a doula. 2 of them turned into interviews. 1 of them turned into a birth, which was the home birth that I did back in October. And I'm still working with her. We're doing postpartums, but as of right now, I can tell you my inbox is completely dead again since things have started ramping up again crisis-wise. And it's been kind of a shame because I have like all this availability to kind of get up and go. But I have had some new thoughts in terms of how I feel about pursuing work in the birth field, which would definitely be a video in itself. I'm not going to get all into that today. Doulaing, not really going that great. YouTube. So YouTube has become quite a bit more complicated than it was before the crisis. There's a lot more censorship. There's a lot more like lack of transparency I feel on YouTube, and I find myself spending a lot less time on the platform for that reason. YouTube's become really weird. Things have been going wrong with the algorithm left and right. I've actually been talking to other YouTubers about this as well that I know. Financially, in March and April, there was a drop, but I can tell you it went back up in the summertime. I don't know how it's going to be now. It's too early to tell how much of an income drop there's going to be for me YouTube-wise yet, but I'm sure in the next couple months I can let you know how it goes since we are in a partial lockdown. You know, the economy is not getting any better the more lockdowns we go under, so we'll see how that goes. So that is how it has affected us career-wise, but we're going to go ahead and wrap up with, we're just grateful that Johannes still has a job, that he can work from home. We do still have one stable income, and we still have a fair bit of, well, my doula money is actually quite a bit of money, so it could be a lot more money we could be getting if I could be doing more. But as far as YouTube goes, like pocket money is basically about the same. You could say it's not much different. Only March and April really seem to be a very minor dip. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move into sort of my personal things, so my physical health as well as my mental health. Now I can't really speak for Johannes on this one, but for me, I have definitely found, I mean, to be honest, like since I've had Darian, I've had a really hard time with meditation. And like before, when I was pregnant with Darian, I was in like such a spiritual happy place, I guess you could say. Like I was up every morning like at 5 a.m. because it's supposedly like the hour where a lot of the people around you are still asleep, so you have like this spiritual space to yourself. Sorry about that, my memory card was saying that it was full. So how much time do I have anyway? I don't know. But anyways, so spiritually it has been really hard for me to like get up as early as I did and like go into that spiritual place and like meditate. I could meditate up to like 15 minutes with a pretty clear mind, and nowadays I can barely make 5 minutes without like, and honestly too, I don't want people to be discouraged by the fact that if you hear a lot of chatter in your head, that's completely normal and that is still meditating, even if that happens. Like I give myself an A for effort every single time I try, so don't let that discourage you from trying. Like I can't meditate. I can tell you that I can't meditate right now like in a Buddha kind of way. I used to be able to be more Buddha-like, still probably not even close, but it still makes a huge difference in your life to at least try. And I'm still like going at it, and some days are better or worse than others, but I can tell you that since the crisis, my mind's been going a lot more. All right, physically, well, I was still pretty on top of my fitness throughout the entirety of this crisis. I have become a little bit more of like a runner throughout the crisis because my gym's closed and spring and summer came, so I was running a lot more. I was still doing my hip thrusts. I just wasn't lifting as much, which I do miss, but I don't really like lifting and bodybuilding type stuff at home. I don't know why. I really prefer it in the gym, so that has definitely changed that journey for me. I'm doing a lot less lifting and stuff like that, which I do miss, but also I had the Lyme's disease, which I had to be careful with my joints during that time, but I feel like I'm probably getting to a point where I could try hip thrusting and things like that again, but it's been a long time. Like I've actually gone now weeks and weeks and weeks without lifting pretty much anything. The only thing I've been using is my resistance bands. So alright, so this one is kind of a newer problem. That is visiting family. So as you know, we are a multicultural family, so we have to visit each other at least once every couple of years. My mom came, the crisis impacted us straight away. She had to leave. She still had like another week and a half or more to stay with us. It was going to be quite a long stay. So she had to go. It was super sad. Obviously, we had to spend money to get her back. I mean, of course, she was able to stay for like, I can't even remember how long it was anymore, but it was like quite stressful, like feeling like she should go back. We weren't really sure what was going to happen. We thought because she was American, they'd let her in no matter what, but obviously that turned out to not be the case, so she went back. And right now, we'd really like to make a trip back. You know, my grandparents are getting older. For people of our situation, it's definitely not ideal. So the last thing I'm going to touch on very briefly is, because I might make a whole other video on this maybe with Johannes, you know, I've been wondering if we want to have a fourth. Sometimes 4 sounds like a good number. Sometimes I feel like I have enough on my plate. The crisis definitely has me not wanting to try, because I can't imagine being pregnant with being as unsettled as I am, I guess you could say, about the world circumstances. And then too, I've kind of realized we're in a window where this is kind of the last chance for Darian to have a sibling close in age. It just feels like everything is just put on pause in our lives, and it feels like we're not really in the driver's seat, which is really frustrating. So it's been this huge lesson of surrender, which is turning out to be quite a bit longer than we had anticipated. I think more than anybody had anticipated. Maybe some people foresaw it going as long as this. The foreseeable future doesn't really look any calmer. It just kind of feels like we're not in the driver's seat. And it's very hard for a personality type like mine, for sure. Johannes is a little bit more Like he also, you know, he wanted a career change, but he gets more comfortable a lot more easily, whereas I like to mix things up. But again, I just wanted to end on a note of gratitude. You know, we are really grateful for everything we have. We still have a roof over our head. Everybody is healthy. We don't have it as strict as some other countries in Europe, which I'm quite happy about. I think that is really important to get out and get fresh air. I wonder how long I've been chatting in this video. Gosh, I seem to be running out of space left and right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop now. But like I said, I'm just really grateful for everything that we do have. But you know, this definitely has impacted us, and I would love to hear in the comments how it has impacted you. I've heard a lot of stories on Instagram from you guys, and I would love if everybody could just share their experiences in the comments, and everybody can leave comments to each other, just like be kind of like a community type thing. And that's something that I really miss about YouTube, is I feel like it's becoming so mainstream in a way. I really miss that like small community vibe, so it would be really great if you guys could just leave comments and we all just talk to each other, because it's a hard time. So I'm gonna run out of memory card again, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this on that note. Sorry to end on a fast note, but love you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye!